Fair enough. I guess this is episode 7 of the Technically Wrong podcast, where I'm tired and ill once again, and I think this is the first clusterfuck episode that we're going to do.
It's not clusterfuck episode, it's guest stars episode.
No. The appropriate term is there's a bunch of you in a room.
Yeah, okay. They're just a bunch of nerds sat in a room playing games. That's basically what we're doing.
Yeah. There's a cluster.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in and rant about the 480.
How about we actually introduce ourselves like we're supposed to each week?
Okay,
How about we not skip that part of it every week?
Okay, I'm the only one who's important because I'm speaking currently. Okay, so the RX 480 is fantastic. It is incredible.
So the Penguin.
I'm buying one. It comes out on the 29th of June. I'm going to wait until like mid-July or so the board partners get their hands on it. You can get the 4GB version for about 160-ish, if you 150 if you're lucky, 170 like full retail, I reckon, and then 160-ish kind of even.
Remember, we live in England, so the price are going to be priced at £200.
No, it's $200.
Yes, and we get screwed on VAT, so it'll be £200.
Well, no. If we get screwed on the VAT, then it will still be about 170.
No, it'll be close to 200. We always get screwed in this.
Anyway, you can get the 4GB version for. I'm still sticking with about 170-ish, and then you can get a 8GB version for about 200. And of course, the board partners and all that stuff, they'll be considerably more. I mean, well, like 20, 30 quid more, if not up to 50 and stuff like that. So I'm going to pay about 250 for a board partner 8GB variant. Now, what really got me just fanboying all over this is that there are current benchmarks that run it somewhere in the range of a Fury Nano. So that's well over the performance of a 980, and even slightly better than a 980 overclock. It is far greater in performance than a 390, and this is only rumored. But if it can get in between 10%, if it's as fast as a 980 overclocked and stuff like that, it's like getting in the ballpark of a Fury Nano. For 170 pounds, that's incredible. And that's not even it overclock. That's with a boost clock. This thing can apparently get up to 1.4 just standard, and 1.5 with a good chip. That's 1.5 gigahertz. We've not seen that on AMD in ever. That's incredible.
I mean,
the bloody 390 could get 1,100.
I mean, up until last generation, we hadn't seen that anywhere. I mean, these new kind of really high clock speeds have kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, what was doing that before?
Yeah.
1500 on the clock. I don't even know if the Titan was touching that.
Yeah, no. I think you're getting 1400 tops. That was real pushing it.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe a good chip, but it definitely wasn't 1500 up.
I mean, when you think about it, right, the RX 480 is going to be faster than the 390X with the same amount of DRAM and all that stuff. So there's no complaining there. It's less than half the price of a 390X. It is a third of the price of the Nano, and if it can get anywhere near that, that is phenomenal. Okay, 2 of these will outperform a 1070 handily and be the same price. Now, of course, that's 2 graphics cards opposed to 1, and of course you could get another 1070. But this just makes me think that Vega 10, because we've got all the specs for the 480 and 470 and 460. Now, the 470 and 460 are Polaris 10, and the 480 is Polaris. Polaris 11, and the 480 is Polaris 10. So the Vega 10 is probably the 490. There's not going to be, I don't know if there's going to be a Fury type card this generation. With the specifications of the Vega 10, now I thought this would be a Fury type card because it's got HBM2, and I guess they spent enough money to put it on a mainstream card, but if they can bring to market a 490 at a kind of price range of $350 to $400, which is even more than I thought previously, because I thought the kind of performance would be, less than. But those kind of specifications on this architecture with the RX 480 as a benchmark, that is going to blow the 1080 out of the water, if not just give it a run for its money for 1070, well, less than 1070 prices.
Oh yeah, like it's gonna be ridiculous. I mean, it's going to be price dependent, of course. Maybe they just try and match the price point with that because it is a higher end card, or maybe they stick with their current view and just do a cheaper card, try and win people that way. I mean, ultimately, I think they've got to win some people over. It's been a while since they've done anything
and I
good.
think the price gap
anything.
would be too great if they did do a 500 or 1080 kind of price card, because you got the 480, and if you've got a card that's practically 3 times the price, then nobody's going to buy it, even if it is 1080 kind of performance.
I mean, if it's more than 1080 performance and you sell it at the 1080 price point, people are still going to buy it. But I think if they're wanting to win a customer base back, I think, as they really need to do, they've been struggling recently, I think they really do need to be coming in at a lower price point than that.
Oh yeah, and I think it will. I can safely say it will be, if not just slightly more expensive than the 1070, because the price gap between the 480 and the 490 would be ridiculous at that point. And I mean, it's going to come out a lot later, so there's going to be 1070 price drops. There's going to have to be. And there's even going to be 1080 price drops by that time. So in October, when we see possibly a 490, it's going to be interesting. And I mean, I've been saying that like every week now, but if this is, I'm buying a 480. That's my graphics card upgrade. This is kind of what I've been waiting for. My graphics card's currently idling at 70 degrees because that's fun. Playing City Skylines, it gets up to 90 degrees, and to think about the price difference between my graphics card and the one that the 480. Okay, for £250, say, I could get an 8GB variant and stuff, but that's the same amount that I paid for this graphics card a year after it was released secondhand from Bitcoin miner, right? And this card used to cost $800. Now, of course, there's generational increases and gaps and everything, but still, it's just 2 graphics cards on a single chip. Cost £800 to $1,000 basically, and we're now getting a $200 graphics card that can handily outperform this in every single way.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, but I mean this last generation has really made that sort of push. I think going back to the Nvidia thing, I think especially with the 1080, I wonder whether they came in at a seemingly low but still high price point initially, just to see what the red team would do. But I think they can afford to drop some price there. I don't think they brought in the lowest price point they're going to sell it at eventually. I expect if AMD come in at a low price point, then that'll drop as well. I mean, it'd have to stay competitive.
Yeah, because what was it, $699 for a 1080? Was it $599?
Yeah, I think
it was $699.
I think it's $699.
I think it's $599 for board partners, like the lowest end, and then $699 for the actual thing. I'll look that up.
Yeah, I'll probably look that up.
I'm just having a quick look at that, but apparently benchmarks for the 480 have appeared on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, there's been a few places reporting benchmarks of them now.
Which
I posted one in the doc.
Close to scores to the GTX 980. Is that just a GTX 980 or a GTX 980 Ti?
No, that's 980. That's 980, and that's a fully overclocked 980, which rivals the performance of an Fury Nano.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how things perform, like once we kind of get the retail cards and all that kind of nonsense. We get retail BIOS upgrades. I think, I think initial tests look good.
Holy shit! There's gonna have to be price drops, because currently I don't know if these are inflated, because no, they seem to be relative. 1080s are going for like £659, and
that's
£600
at
like the lowest end. There's no competition if AMD come out with a graphics card at say $5.99 even, or like
yeah, but they're proving before that they
$4.99.
can sell stuff for cheaper and people still won't buy it. AMD's
No,
got a lot to
they're
prove.
going
Not
to
just by
have
selling the
to.
stuff quite cheap, they're gonna have
They're
to.
going to have to. AMD's
Yeah.
drivers have improved like a hell of a lot.
Well, their drivers are good these days,
Yeah.
especially on like Linux support.
And that was the main problem. Yeah, you could get a slightly faster graphics card, but all in all, it was mostly just, the drivers are bad and the graphics card's slightly slower. Now, the drivers are there. They're not quite 100% NVIDIA drivers, but they're like 90% there. And it's mostly all of the driver issues I've had is because I've had such an ancient broken card. That's the only real reason that it's been a problem, and it hasn't really been a problem. So yeah, I mean the drivers are there, and the price point for the 480 is such a beautiful card. It's the best graphics card that's been released today. I'm sorry. It's so cheap. It's power efficient. With the board partner, stick an 8-pin power adapter on that. Get rid of the power limits because that's what they're doing with the overclocks to get 1.5 and stuff. Get rid of the power limits. You can crank that thing up to 1.5, and then you saw the performance increase in those benchmarks. Now they may be fabricated or whatever, but if it comes close to an R9 Nano on stock on boost clock and stuff like that, and then you can overclock it to 1.5, then it should outperform it, if not perform exactly the same, or relatively the same anyway. And then you've got a win. You've just got a straight win.
I was going to say, the other thing is, you've got to think, with those overclocks or benchmarks, are they used for water cooling? They don't mention if the water cooling the car would make it easier.
No, it's on air cooling. It's on air cooling. It's confirmed like 1.5.
But everyone thought that when they did the 1080 and 1070 benchmarks and they were heavily water cooled, likely.
No. It's confirmed like you can get 1.5 on air. Now that may be at 90 degrees, but you can get it on air.
So you can have a melted graphics card in a few months.
Hey, my graphics card runs at 90 degrees all the time, and it's not fine.
I mean, that's the perk of having an AMD card. They'll run at 90 degrees everywhere.
Pretty much. No,
On an AMD processor, which you fry in a matter of 5 seconds.
Hey, that's just Jamie.
Right, Jamie.
That's just Jamie. Look, he's
talk
bad.
about that.
He's bad. Okay, he did a bad thing. Not all AMD chips explode. Well, every single CPU chip explodes if Jamie does the same thing.
Well, no, because I think Intel ones are smart enough to go, no, we're not taking that. It just kills your computer power and goes, nope, not happening.
Well, no, it's mostly down to the motherboard manufacturer, whether you can actually, like the BIOS settings and stuff, whether you can actually do that. So.
I'm curious, does anyone know where AMD actually got their 14nm process? Because I can't imagine they developed it.
Yeah, because NVIDIA are from bloody 16, and they're like the big company, so it's a bit weird that AMD snuck in with the 14. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's probably, as Luke suggested, it's probably Samsung.
I was going to say they're probably outed it to Samsung because they make most chips for everybody.
Yeah, they do, and that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't be the first time they've worked with Samsung either. But yeah, I'm curious to know where they got. I had a quick look online. I couldn't see anything, but I'm curious to know where they got their process time, because I can't imagine they developed it.
Yeah, no, they don't have that. But that's the thing. AMD have been kind of struggling because of they put all their money into Zen, they put all their money into Polaris, they put all of their money into HBM, and previous to when the 480 releases, I think they haven't made any money back. They are really, really struggling. But with things like Zen coming out, with HBM maybe being on a 490 and hopefully at a decent price point, and with just Polaris in general, they're gonna be healthy competition for a while.
I'm kind of curious. I mean, we're probably going to see a 480X at some point, which will probably be like.
Well, that's the thing. There's rumors and stuff like. Because they've just released the 480, like specs and all that stuff, and that's the kind of public knowledge. It's kind of tricky to understand because a lot of benchmarks are showing that a 480 question mark and a 480 question mark are doing different kind of specifications. So maybe the 480X is actually performing similar to an R9 Nano, and the 480, which is the price point of 160 or so, is performing more of a 390X and upwards.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing we have to look out for when the benchmarks and stuff come out, because I'm still probably going to go for a 480 if it is 390X performance, and you can overclock the shit out of it, because that's just such a good price to performance ratio. It's just so fantastic. But if a 480X does come out and it's nano fast and stuff like that, I don't know. We'll have to see. So there may be two SKUs, because I mean there probably is, because I think it's confirmed that there's like a 470X and all that stuff. So yeah. I don't know. It's.
I'm kind of sad we're not going to see. I get why, but I'm kind of sad we're not going to see HBM on the 480. Maybe we'll see revisions in the future, like 480X or something. Probably not. I'm sad that it's still like on the 90 series of cards.
Yeah, well, you look at Nvidia; they don't have HBM at all. So
that's true, but I think that would have the added extra that HBM brings. I guess it comes down to manufacturing right now. HBM is really difficult to manufacture. Both sides are having trouble with it. I get why they've left it, but it's one of those things that would have been really great to see. But then they'd have had limited quantities of the 480, wouldn't have been able to sell as many. So I get why.
No, I think it's a good move to stick with traditional, just for the lower end card, because you can put it in at a lower price point. It's incredibly difficult to get HBM nowadays, and at the moment, and put a price point out like that, because the reason the Fury X was that so expensive was, well, first, the 390X was that kind of price point and stuff like that, but it was mostly just bringing HBM to the market, and the fact that that's very expensive. So I can definitely see why they didn't do it, and I'm kind of glad they didn't do it, because I mean, you look at their roadmap and the next generation and stuff has next generation memory, so that I don't know if that means like a newer version of HBM, or if that just means every card has HBM.
I think both. I think we're going to see a new version of HBM, and I think at least not every card. Maybe not the 60, maybe not the 70, but I think the 80 for sure in the next generation is probably going to be seeing HBM.
Talking about the 470, we've got benchmarks, and it is showing like it's about as fast as a 280X or a 380X. For like $150 or so, they say. I don't know. I thought it would be a little cheaper than that, considering the 480s.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I was going to say, that does seem like a little. I mean, considering, I think that's just reflective of how cheap the 480 is, and not reflective on the expense of the 470. But it's the price.
But I mean, if they did do it at like $100, then what would the 460 cost?
Right.
So I can see why, but it's it is. I think it's faster because it's miles ahead of the 370. It's like 1.5 to like 2 times or something in certain games, like faster than the 370, which is pretty fast. And then it's about as fast as like top of the range like 380X or slightly faster. I think it was getting performance in the ballpark of a 390 rather than the X, which again leads me to believe that the regular 480 will be faster than the 390X, because that just kind of makes sense. So we'll have to see when this stuff comes out. But I mean, if any of this stuff is in the ballpark of where they're saying it is, they're fantastic value. And I think that was the right move, because, like Lucas says, they put them cheap, but not cheap enough, and nobody buys them, right? But they're cheap enough.
It's not even the problem of them being cheap enough. It's people need to have faith in AMD again, and that's the issue they have. Is people don't want to buy AMD stuff, even if it is cheaper than NVIDIA. People trust NVIDIA's equipment to last and to do what they basically say it does.
No. But the thing is, I've had a lot of people, like my friend had a 670 that died, and then I got his second one when he upgraded and he switched to AMD and stuff like that. And you look at Thermi, I mean, that was a long time ago, but still. But like, AMD graphics card could run at 95 degrees 24/7 for years. And Nvidia are like, oh no, we don't want to go above 75. Oh no.
Actually, it's 82. Just to correct you, though, it's 82 degrees they run their graphics cards at most.
Yeah, that was the Titan and stuff, but I think the
No, my 780 Ti as well.
yeah, exactly. But
Don't even keep pushing the 95 until it burns.
but the 1080s and stuff like that and 1070s are lower thermal, obviously because of the power consumption and all that stuff. But you know, that was an older. The 28 nanometer process was warm. But I mean, this should be warmer. When we get to the top end of this generation, it'll probably be back to like 82, 85 degrees and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I'm curious to know where stuff's going to go from here because you look at the next process down. We're looking at either 10 or 7 nanometers, depending on because I think Intel. I don't know if they're doing much at 10 nanometers. I know they're doing stuff at 7, but past that, like nobody has lower manufacturing processes than that. At least like Samsung haven't like made any major announcement or really start to make anything with lower processes. I expect they'll have those technologies. They're usually the one that does, but
well, like again,
Intel
because once we
does.
get down to that, we're struggling for the next manufacturing process because you can only really get down to about 7, 6. Theoretically 5, I think, is the complete bottom out. Then
I think
we're
Intel's
done.
only going as far as 7, though, aren't they?
Yeah. So we're gonna be stuck on this we're gonna be stuck on this manufacturing process for a long time because, as you said, nobody's really talking about going lower currently, and so we're gonna have a similar thing to 28. But the good thing about the 14 nanometer and the 16 nanometer, I guess Nvidia could go back down to 14. But the good thing about these manufacturing processes is currently they are the right processes for the technology that we have. So that's okay. Like, I guess 28 nanometer process was good enough for like even 1440p when it started to come out and started to become the thing. Whereas 4K, no way. So, now that we've got 4K, now that we've got VR, and we're getting these graphics cards at these prices, at this performance, then we are kind of set for like 4K, possibly at the end of this generation, close to, like 120 hertz, 144 hertz 4K. And at that point, VR will really take off. Like, we'll hopefully get rid of some of the cables of something like the HTC Vive, maybe get Oculus to get off their asses, literally, and make a room scale.
But I think there are plans that they're doing added stuff for the Oculus. I think their main thing was to get the headset good enough.
Yeah.
And then move on. Because at this point, HTC Vive, as nice as it is almost a worthless product for, say, anywhere outside the US. Because who has a room big enough to dedicate using the Vive for?
Yeah, I mean, I looked it up and you can have smaller stuff, but yeah, you really do want like a big room. So that is true, but I don't know, I just think that as a VR experience, I think the better one, because with the Vive, like nobody's really reporting motion sickness unless they're doing a sitting down experience. Whereas with the Oculus, like a lot of people are saying, no, I can't play Eve Valkyrie. It makes me physically sick.
A lot of that might be the same reason why a lot of people get it with just playing games on PC. It will be field of vision problems with motion sickness. That's what it is most likely caused by. Where with HTC Vive, because you're moving about, you'll notice it less.
Yeah.
But like the HTC Vive is the better VR experience. It's just not feasible for a lot of people currently.
Yeah, that is the shame. Like,
once they can sort out making it, say, on a smaller scale that it will fit into smaller spaces, they'll get a lot more people. But currently, there are a lot of people that are going to struggle to find a reason to buy it if they don't have a room to.
I mean, if I get enough money, okay, I'm gonna get a 2-bedroom apartment. And I'm simply just gonna have 1 bedroom with like maybe like a fold-out bed or something, and I'll be like, yeah, just sleep there. It's not furnished, and then I'm just gonna have like cables running through the floor up to the middle of the floor, and there's stuff mounted on the walls and computer mounted on the wall and stuff like that. Maybe in a cupboard somewhere. And it's just gonna be my VR room. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'd say removing the cables from the VR headset is probably going to take a while, because trying to make those things wireless is
Not necessarily
really
wireless, but just slightly more streamlined. Like the HTC Vive, you look at it and there's like 1 or 2 cables coming out of the headset, but the amount of cables on the top and the thickness of the cable and stuff like that is ridiculous.
So that's why something like the Oculus Rift backpack that's been made.
Oh, I don't like them though, because yeah, the Oculus Rift, that's fine and all, but with the Vive, like in a lot of the games you can lie down and you can, like, you know, crawl across the floor and stuff, and with a backpack that's just kind of eliminates part of the fun of VR.
Well, I know that, but as a step towards trying to make it so there's less cables or making them less intrusive, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, there's so many more problems introduced with that, being especially. Oh,
I'm sorry,
I
just
can.
don't lie on your back or roll over.
No. I can only game for 1.5 to 3 hours because battery life. Also,
Yeah,
you're lugging
that's
around
one,
a computer on your back with a big fuck off battery. Like it's gonna be even more strenuous than trailing around hitting your face into things already.
Hey, it's better than punching a wall with one of the Vive controllers and breaking it.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
As I've seen
yeah.
I saw someone do that, and it was hilarious. They punched a wall with it because they weren't paying attention.
I saw a guy playing a snooker game, and he was like fake leaning on a table, and then he started to think it was real, and then just face planted on the floor, smashing his Vive into his forehead.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, beautiful.
That sounds expensive.
But
It's the Wii all over again.
yep. I think there's going to be a lot of issues actually, because it's like you've got a game here where it has controls which are similar to Wii controllers, but they don't have wrist straps on them by the looks of it. So
Some
people
of
are
them
going to
do.
start.
Oh no, they do.
The
They
Vive
have,
does.
Oh, they do have
They
wrist
come with,
straps on,
yeah. But we're
Okay, so
we're
that's
in
not
the
too
current generation where you could be standing up, jacking off. A guy could come in and rob you, and you take off your headset and be like, "I just got robbed, and he saw me jacking off."
The fact that's where your mind went with VR, that's quite surprising. But then
That's
the amount of
more
places
the
which are
internet,
apparently
but you know.
creating VR experiences for porn. Because Pornhub's apparently throwing money into that.
Yeah, no, but any new technology that comes out is gonna be used for porn. It's just the way the world works,
That's how the internet works.
and the world is mostly run by the internet.
Hmm.
Politicians who accidentally leak things on the internet.
Accidentally, of course.
Yeah, accidentally now. It's not like someone did it for them.
Anyway, reeling this back in a bit because we got a bit off topic.
Off topic, really? I thought that's what this show was.
The other thing you posted, I did have a look at it. The MSI and Asus drama, just because that looked kind of interesting.
All right, yeah. So MSI and Asus have got some flack because they apparently sent review samples that had
Higher
specific.
clock speeds than it advertised.
Yeah,
So
basically.
said more powerful graphics cards.
Yeah, because as advertised, they will be set at a certain clock speed, and they will be able to reach a certain clock speed. That's kind of how they work. But the review samples were set at higher clock speeds and could reach higher clock speeds on boost, which doesn't mean like your actual retail sample can't overclock to those speeds, or you can't set the boost clock to be within the margin of that, or your regular base clock to be in the margin of that. But they still did possibly send out cards that were cherry picked to be faster.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about before. And they probably did just cherry pick the graphics cards to make sure they got the prime samples that would give them the best looking.
I mean, you look at the 4770 reviews, and they're like, we could reach 4.5. No, it fucking can't.
Yeah.
It's like 10% maybe, like 5. I say 5% of people can reach 4.5. 10 maybe 4.4. All right. Well, I can't crack like over 4.3. Besides, I'm happy with my 4.2 overclock because 42 is the meaning of liveliness and everything. Just putting
I'm
that
sitting
out.
at 4.4 gigahertz on my i7. That's just using the base one it gives you. I could probably actually.
That's a 4790K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they fixed it basically.
They fixed the thermal paste issue between the heat stroke on top of the processor and the
Yeah,
chips.
and they had which was the main limiting factor. I think they changed around the timings and the like the power or something. I can't quite remember. It was a long time ago. All I know is that like the majority of 4770Ks can maybe reach 4.4, yet the 4790Ks can reach like 4.6.
Yeah, I think most say 4.5 you can do comfortably on stable. I don't think after that it starts to get a little twitchy.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean 4.2 is a nice stable overclock, but 4.3 just doesn't work. It's really weird.
Okay, we seem to have gone off topic again, and we're talking about processors rather than graphics cards.
No, I don't think any processors or anything have come out like in the last couple of weeks.
I mean, CPUs aren't off topic. Pornography is, but CPUs aren't.
But look, just going on that, technically there was a bit of news that because Intel had a bit at E3 this week, and they were showing off their new 10-core processor.
Oh, they were just showing off what
They were going because they had a little panel bit with a couple of PC game developers there because they're working with Stardock. Because their latest game apparently utilizes all 10 cores of the processor to make it run faster. Which I just want to say to the one statement they made of more cores means you play games better is complete bullshit. It's like they don't.
Yeah.
They really don't. If games actually utilize more cores, fine. But the way they're explaining it, it's like, oh, they said for this game, if you're using 6 cores, it's like best, but is that like a 4-core processor with hyperthreading or an actual 6-core processor? It's like, technically, I have 8 cores, just 4 of them are virtualized, but they're there.
They don't really count.
So,
you're not technically, like, theoretically, to a degree. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I didn't see that in E3.
Yeah, it was just a bit. It's part of their PC gaming sections that they were doing. They were very quick interviews. They weren't part of the main stage stuff.
Right.
To be fair, I think
they were basically offside stuff they were doing.
I think if they were just getting some exposure for broad I mean, 10 that's
going
to be
a lot of the Intel stuff was they were being partnered with other companies, kind of things, as doing part of their stuff. Like MSI had a section on the PC bit where they're actually showing off the 480, but they also showed the 460 and 470 cards, which currently don't have any plastic shrouding or fan designs for them because I haven't given them to like board partners and things yet. So.
Well, they probably just haven't given them to Sapphire specifically.
Well, one of them did look like it actually had fans on it, and it basically looked like what old graphics cards did before they started this whole fancy fan designs and shrouds for them.
Yeah.
So, which I thought they're going old school with these graphics cards, though.
Well, no, I mean they they did the same other thing with the Pro, so they're probably just engineering samples. They're not the final product.
Yeah, that is what they said. They weren't like finalized yet, but they wanted to show them off, which I thought was interesting. They them come on in this like rather nice black, almost like military style casing.
With custom padding and stuff. Yeah, they had the 480 in there as well.
Yeah.
But talking about E3, the OnePlus 3 released in the VR event, but had a 1080p screen, and then they basically said it's not for VR, but then released a VR headset for it.
Oh, I didn't see the VR headset for it.
So what am I supposed to think? Like, they came out and said most people won't use this for VR. Let's release a VR headset and on a VR stage at E3. However, the phone's fucking incredible. The OnePlus 3 is amazing. Like, they've hit every single mark. Like, the only thing that I think is bad about it is I don't think it's waterproof. That's it. And honestly, like, the camera bump isn't fantastic. I don't like camera bumps that much, but for the price, that phone is incredible. I mean, it's got the most RAM of like any phone that on the market that's not like £1 million. It's got 6 gigabytes of RAM, one of the fastest mobile phone processors on the market. It's got NFC, which they missed out on the OnePlus 2. It's like £300 or so, like £310, I think is the retail price. Simless. dual SIM card slots. It doesn't have upgradable storage, but it has 64 gigabytes on the base version, well, the only version, which is fantastic. I mean, not fantastic because you can't upgrade it, but for a base version, 64 gigabytes, it's more forgivable that way.
Actually, I don't get this with phones. Why do people need that much storage? And I know people are generally lazy and don't want to have to swap stuff out, but just swap the stuff out that you have on it.
No, it's mostly for music, like...
That's what I mean, just swap your music out. You don't have to have all of it on there at once.
But what if you feel like a specific song?
Then you
Or
swap
album.
it onto it. It's like,
What, just randomly in the street?
yeah, you download it. It's like you don't need all of your music on your phone at once. If
Oh,
you need
so
something else,
I'm going to
just
be
wait
on the
until-
bus. I'm going to fancy listening to a specific album. Let me just go on bloody Google
YouTube
Play and
and listen
download
to it on YouTube or
Oh, wow.
perhaps
No,
the
no, no.
Spotify app or anything else. which
Now
gives you
you're
free music.
promoting pirate, unless it's on Vivo or something like that,
Or Spotify.
whatever. But yeah, no, I just like having a lot more space. But I think it's just a good precedent anyway, especially if you're going to have that big of a camera with that kind of video recording. That's going to take up a lot of space.
Yeah, with those things having higher space because phones at this point are like, oh yeah, we're going to record 4K video. But if you want to record 4K video with a camera or take 4K pictures, buy a proper goddamn camera, don't use your phone.
Yeah, not just yet, but
Right.
it's only got a 1080p screen, so I think this camera's only I think it's like 18 megapixels, which is a pretty damn nice camera. But I think it only records in 1080p, which is fair.
It wouldn't surprise me because the old iPhones, when people were starting to take apart, realised, yeah, they advertised they're this powerful. They unlock take the phone apart and realise they've put the things in there that are twice the powerful of what they say, just so they can save on power. Because turning down so it's technically better uses less power than putting in something that's working on its edge.
Yeah. But it is a fantastic phone, and Jamie, you've been in the market for a new phone. I have recommended the Moto X, and I've recommended don't go with Samsung, and now I'm recommending buy this phone, you idiot.
I've considered it. I mean, I'm curious to know kind of how it gets viewed when it's kind of more out there as a retail product, but we'll see. I may do. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, the one big problem for me is the button placement, but that's simply just because I've been using a bloody Moto G for like 3+ years now. So I'm just
Moto
used
G?
to it.
That's a phone?
And I mean, it's got USB 3 Type C. It can charge the battery without exploding, I might add, without becoming a bloody volcano. It's a 60% charge in 30 minutes, which is pretty damn impressive.
That's pretty cool. I mean, one of the features I like of the OnePlus 3 is the fact that its fast charge doesn't cook it through your desk.
Yeah.
It's reasonable.
Lucas.
Sorry, I thought the thing was out loud. On that news, Fallout Shelter's coming to PC.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was some of Bethesda's E3 news. So.
I mean, you made that horrible mistake into a good segue, so fuck you.
No. It was quite good, really.
Not that you've told me what the segue is yet.
Meanwhile,
I don't
something
know.
else.
Yeah. Fallout Shelter coming to PC, it's quite good. They've also got a bunch of content to add to it.
Yeah,
more games from E3. Lots of games this year.
I mean, I'd like a paid version to get around the whole, like, box opening thing.
The lunch boxes.
Yeah.
They might do some of that. I know they're adding stuff like more quest systems into Fallout Shelter in the next month or so they might bypass a lot of that lunch box stuff.
Because I mean, each time you get a certain amount of settlers or something, you could get like a lunchbox and then do a quest and get one or something like that instead of
well,
you have to buy them.
They're expanding the going out and exploring the wasteland system. That's adding a lot more stuff to the game. Like you can have multiple settlers go out as like a party rather than as single wastelanders.
But yeah, all I wanted was a Mr. Handy, Bethesda, and you made me pay like $1.99 for it.
Do you know what's
I've
funny?
received 2 for free.
On my current Fallout Shelter thing, one of my quests gives
I mean,
me
I
Mr.
didn't pay
Handy's
for it,
reward,
but
so
You know, they were trying to get me to
two
pay
of mine have
for
been
it.
crashable ones.
Yeah.
And also, Fallout Shelter's reached over 50 million players.
Yeah.
I should stop playing.
Oh.
I need to make a new vault because my one has something like 80 people in it, and it's just like the layout is horrific.
Yeah. That's the thing, it takes you a few times to like making vaults and Fallout Shelter to actually get a good design layout.
Yeah, I found sticking elevators on both ends tends to limit more rat attacks.
Yeah, because I wanted to do like, you know, one layer was residential with like a workplace next to it, and then the next layer was like a workplace, a diner or something. But then I got so much stuff that it's just like 3 diners in a row, and then 3. It's just like, oh. And then, like, at a point, like, none of my diners had people in it because everybody died. And then I
You got,
came
like,
back to it a
food,
week later, and I
multiples.
had, like, 16 settlers outside, and I couldn't be bothered to micromanage them into my vault, and I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah, I've sort of just found it easy just to put one of each resource management and just sit in Mr. Handy on it. And that tends to keep people alive when you're offline.
Yeah. I got a free Mr. Handy, I believe, and I just sent him around putting out fires.
In other gaming news, let's see, Xbox One mouse and keyboard support.
Woo.
And the
sounds
custom
pretty good.
control. The thing that I like
the
is the
custom
custom
controller.
controllers. Like, I want
Yeah,
a purple
no,
Xbox
I would give
controller.
it, that does actually look kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It
So,
does look cool. Like I
but-
really want to get a new controller as well, and like that's not way more expensive than a regular controller, and like custom controllers already are expensive to buy. And so the fact they're offering kind of a pre-made version of that would be usually less than what custom controllers
What I thought was
cost.
kind of funny is the amount of people that said they're just going to make like some ugly combination of colours for the new Xbox controller. Just like go this is for gas. You gotta use this controller.
Yeah.
This like awful looking thing.
They're gonna pull a Linus with his D-brand skins.
Yeah.
The orange one.
On top of that, the new Xbox One S thing. So I think we're gonna call this one X Bones because that seems quite good. X Bones. So.
Yeah. And
Also-
it doesn't have a
also
Connect port. Doesn't have a
No.
Connect port.
What are you talking about?
That's what I find
That's a
funny is they've now completely apparently ditched the Connect.
What are you
Scott.
talking about, Lucas? So what's a Connect?
I don't know. It seems to be some relic thing that apparently
that-
someone did once.
We don't
I think
remember
you mean
that.
Connect.
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
But yeah, by the looks of it, the new Xbox One S is going to be $300 roughly, which puts it about the price they are now.
Yeah,
Not
and a
bad.
hell of a lot cheaper than, say, PS4 Neo, because the performance, they're slightly upgrading the specs so it can render like 4K video. Well, not render, but, you know, play and use like 4K content. But it can't it can't play 4K games. You know,
Well,
it can't do anything
They
that the
basically
Neo
said the
really
thing
can.
that at the moment, playing 4K games at 60 FPS, even for PCs at this point, is struggling. A
Yeah.
console's not going to do it and be a cheap console.
Yeah.
So, like, this is why everyone's like, oh, when Microsoft was on about their Xbox Scorpio, like, oh, it's going to be able to play 4K games. And I'm like, what, at 20, maybe 30 FPS and still be $1,000 console? No one's going to buy it. They are literally selling a PC at that point.
But that, yeah, on the whole mouse and keyboard stuff, as well as like the fact that pretty much every E3 conference was now exclusive on Xbox and Windows 10. You know, they're basically. I think this is the last generation. This may be the last generation for Microsoft specifically because
It will be. PlayStation will carry on. They'll come up with something new. Because at the moment, PlayStation is doing perfectly fine. They've sold more than twice the amount of Xboxes. PlayStation's to Xbox. They've sold like 40 million plus to the 20 million Xboxes that are out there currently.
yeah. So basically, what we're saying is nobody buy the new Xbox because then maybe Microsoft won't do it anymore.
Yeah, but it's like someone posted like that Microsoft is now looking to sell their games on Steam rather than using the Windows 10 store.
No, they're still going to use the Windows 10 store.
Well, yeah,
but
they're
they're
still
going to
going
sell
to
on
use it.
Steam as well.
Who's going to choose Windows 10 store over Steam?
You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be a Uplay thing.
Oh god, no.
It's gonna be like
Oh, if they try that, I think
6
people are just
different
No, it can't be.
DRMs.
It can't be because the reason why they're going to Steam is because there's certain like hardware support that you don't get on their platform, which is why they're going to Steam, so that people with those more advanced configurations can make use of that. Like, it doesn't. The Windows Store doesn't allow for SLI. Like, the Universal Framework can't utilize that. And so,
it's got forced VSync, which you can't turn off.
yeah, and so that kind of advanced control. And
also,
stuff
because of the way the UWP system works, modding is going to be ruled out because you can't mod the files.
Yeah,
so
that's why they're going to Steam.
So basically, what they should have said at E3 was exclusively on Xbox One, Windows 10, and Steam, for fuck's sake.
But what's also funny is Microsoft seems to forget what exclusive means. And when they say exclusive for Xbox and PC, it's not an exclusive anymore. Like, it has to be an exclusive on one thing.
It's exclusive with
Exclusive to
asterisk.
Microsoft.
Yeah, but it's like, why even say it's an exclusive? Just say it's on the Windows platform. Because technically the Xbox runs Windows, so just call it Windows platform.
Yeah,
Just
that
say
would,
it's
that would
not
still
on
be
the-
exclusive against Linux and Mac and PS4 and obviously Nintendo. So, but Nintendo news. I'm gonna eventually buy a Wii U when it's really when it's basically it's
Dirt
cheap as yeah.
Next year. Wait till it's out
Yeah,
next year.
Because I want to play Wind Waker again. I want to play the new Zelda game, and there's
There's those 3 other games you want to play?
no, there's like 50 games, guys. I want to play all 50 of the games that are on the Wii U. All 50 of them.
All 50 after which are the only 50 games they have for that.
Yeah.
And that thing's been out longer than the PS4 and Xbox One. So,
But I mean,
Taking part that counts.
yeah.
the Zelda game
That
looks
seems to be
incredible. Like that looks better
Nintendo's
than
role.
currently like anything on. Just because it's stylized, I guess it's kind of the thing that the Wind Waker did with the GameCube and stuff like that. It just looks better than anything that's on the PS4 and Xbox One at the moment. Like, yeah, you got the grit and all that stuff, but Wind Waker looks not Wind Waker. What's the new Zelda called?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild looks incredible, and I mean, hell,
It
Wind
does
Waker
look
looked
good.
pretty good.
But
So-
you've got to bear in mind, they're now making a console, which that's probably running off the NX system, which is made after the current Xbox One and PS4, of which there will be new iterations of them next year, which will be more powerful than the NXs. Which is actually one of the reasons why the NX is delayed, is because they're trying to make it more powerful to keep up with the new PS4 and Xbox One coming out next year. So Nintendo are always lagging behind in their hardware support, and
Yeah.
they
But-
are literally playing catch
But
up.
that's the thing, like, marketing departments had no money, and then they made fantastic marketing campaigns. Then they got a shit ton of money, and look at marketing campaigns now, except for Deadpool, that was pretty good. Although then again, they probably didn't have any money, because Deadpool didn't have any money, so there you go.
But it's still a good film.
It's fantastic. With Nintendo, they don't put any of their hardware, but they focus on the games. Like a lot of these companies and stuff, they just want the graphics and they want it to, and then you get Assassin's Creed Unity. It's like you got to put the game first, and that's what I've always liked Nintendo, other than Star Fox Zero.
And screwing everyone over that decide, I want to stream their game. I want to upload footage to YouTube. Oh no, they're just taking it all down. Or charging us for
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it had like a Connect type feature, if the bloody camera in the Wii U pad was on, you couldn't play with friends. It'd be like, no, this is sharing.
it. But yeah, it's they are a bit silly. Like, they do good stuff. Like the one thing they've still always been ahead in is the handheld market. That's one of the things that still makes them all their money.
Oh yeah, you'll never kill the DS.
No, well, any of their handhelds at this point. It's like Microsoft
Yeah.
seems to make more money than anything
Well-
else.
And as long as they keep making Pokemon games, I'll be okay with that.
Oh yeah, Pokemon and Mario, they're good.
Yeah,
Pokemon's
and
the
of
best
course,
franchise ever. You can sell 2 of the same game at the same time, and everyone will buy it twice.
Yeah,
Both of them just see the
I know
differences.
so many people that went out and bought both new Pokemon games. Like, we must have both.
yeah.
It's like,
I didn't do that.
Look at me screwing and do all games in one.
yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
no,
no,
it'll be all over when they decide, let's add multiple saves to our games.
Ooh.
they're
Because
not.
that
They're
would
not
be
going
nice.
to, because that's the whole foundation
Yeah.
of the bloody game.
Yeah,
But
because the whole idea is like, oh, after 6, everyone's going to start a new game with each starter Pokemon.
yeah, no, but what I was going to say about the Zelda thing is there's been some controversy about the gender of Link.
Oh.
Not necessarily because of the gender of Link, but because of the handling of the gender of Link.
Well, no, it was because there were rumours that they're going to allow you to choose the gender of Link, that you could play as a female Link. And then they decided to come up with some contrary bullshit reasons of why they decided not to have a playable female character.
Yeah, well, I mean, the rumors may have just been completely fake, but
No,
the way they
rumours aren't
handled
fake.
it.
These are taken from interviews where they were asked about it. These aren't fake.
Okay,
Like,
but
the first one is to do with actual in-game lore. They actually tried to give a lore reason why Link couldn't be female, and it was to do with the Triforce. That with Link being female, it would mess up how the Triforce works.
which doesn't make any sense because
Yep.
yeah.
The second was the idea of you having a playable Zelda, that you played as Zelda, and the reason for it was, well, if Zelda's doing all the fighting, what's Link gonna do?
Yeah,
Like, well,
which
Link
is
can go do other shit like he did. Oh, I don't know, in Hyrule Warriors.
yeah, or
Maybe Link's been kidnapped by Gandalf.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
you had Sheik, Zelda, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, why not
well,
just
you
have
also
a
had Pirate
Sheik
Zelda
game?
in what was it? Wind Waker? Well, no, Skyward Sword. I think wasn't Zelda a pirate? She wasn't actually a princess in that game.
Yeah. So it's just that is the worst possible reason you can come up with, and that's gonna get just all of the feminists up. Well, all of the like angry feminists anyway, because most people, you know, are like level-headed and are just like we just want more pram space on our bus.
Well, it wasn't even that. They couldn't give a reason which made sense. Like, people were on about Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar gave the perfect reason was the story we were making was about relationships between men. And the fact they're all criminals. It's like, playing a female character didn't fit in that makeup. That's a legitimate reason why you don't have a playable female character in that cuckoo clock just went off.
Well, it's
Well,
not that they.
in the main
It's not.
story.
It's not that they didn't fit. It's just that they wanted to focus on like a male dynamic and the
Yeah.
fact that they, you know, we act different when we're like if there was a fucking woman that one of us was attracted to or some shit like that, we'd probably be all over the fucking place right now.
Well,
You know, so it's a different dynamic, you know.
yeah, and that was like that's a legitimate reason. We're going, oh, because it Triforce won't work properly, or well, what would Link do if you're playing Zelda? It's like, well, I'm pretty sure Link can go do other stuff. Like, I think there's plenty enough for Link to save by himself to allow Zelda to have some fun.
Or you know,
The pottery
it's a
makers.
completely different universe. Maybe Link's just a woman. You know, why not?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They've had multiple different dimensions, so why in one of them couldn't Link not be the hero?
Hell, make fucking
Oh.
Zelda a bloke.
Wait, that's the thing. You could swap both of them. It's like,
Balances
make
the
Zelda
Triforce.
Link and Link Zelda. So yeah, technically, if they're all about balance of Triforce, we'll just swap the genders of both of them. Then it's still there. You know, I don't think the name Zelda would work for a guy though.
Nah, I mean it could do. I mean it's not like the worst guy name of all time.
Well, yeah, that and everyone was confused when it first came out, thinking that Zelda was the character you played, not the actual princess.
People still have that confusing now.
Yeah, no, because it's like, well, they never really explicitly tell you your name is Link. So,
They should rename the franchise The Legend of Link, and then you play as
Yeah.
Zelda.
because they could. That makes sense because it's like you call the game Legend of Zelda. It's like, yeah, but Zelda's not the character you play. So,
Basically, the legend of Zelda is she was taken by a pig man and a small child in a green suit had a fancy sword from a strange man in a cave and saved her.
yeah, basically.
It's fantastic storytelling right there.
Right. Other gaming news from E3. Let's move on to the next one. We got Xbox, got Nintendo. I'm trying to think, did Xbox announce any other games which weren't terrible?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
No, the rest seem to be for PS4.
Yeah, Bethesda announced a few things. Dishonored 2 looks quite good. The first thing they did show was what they went straight into it. New trailer was a new Quake game.
Sorry, but who? Just to start off, who was the guys behind We Happy Folk?
We happy.
Because that's the game. That's the game that I like. It's like that's really cool.
It's we happy few.
We happy
Right, we
few.
happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. But Compulsion Games.
Yeah, but it
is
was
the developer.
under someone.
No, the publisher is Compulsion Games. They did it themselves.
Okay, cool.
It was on Xbox One, Windows.
Oh, it's probably Xbox One then. Yeah, it's the Xbox One conference
Yeah,
as
it was
well.
on the Xbox. Yeah, it'd probably be part of their conference, I would guess.
Because that game looks really cool. I like little weird stealth games like that, and it's got a nice aesthetic. It's got like a kind of Dishonored cross with an angry mime.
that does actually sound kind of fun.
Yeah.
Violent, that'd be interesting. But yeah, the new Quake game looks quite good, and it does mean that at this point it has now resurfaced all of the old first-person shooters.
Yeah, Wolfenstein, Doom, and
Doom, Quake. They've brought them all back. They're back there and they're good again. It's like
they are good again.
We're seeing a new era of first-person shooters, and people are starting to rethink of first-person shooters can just be violent and fun.
And fast-paced again.
Yeah.
Because they've got so fucking slow.
So I think we've been seeing more of the fast-paced stuff like with Overwatch and Battleborn, like the fast-paced shooter stuff. But like Wolfenstein and Quake.
That conference for the Overwatch-like game that's gritty and realistic and stuff. Basically, he went out and said, "Yeah, my wife likes playing Overwatch," and it's just like the subtext of that is like, "Yeah, if you want to play a baby's game, play Overwatch." It's like, fuck you.
I'm sorry, but as much as like I don't like Overwatch myself, it still looks good, and I know why people enjoy it. So it's like, I'm sorry, but gritty and realistic things, they're getting kind of boring.
Oh yeah.
Especially because most of them aren't even doing it right. Look at Modern Warfare or Advanced Warfare or whatever else they want to call it these days. It's not even realistic anymore.
Yeah, because that Overwatch style game I think is by the guy who made Gears of War. So he's they've got like crass humor and it's just witless and dull and grey, very 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 grey.
But yeah, so new Quake game that was quite good. We already talked about Fallout Shelter coming to PC. They announced a bunch of new Fallout 4 DLC, which they look kind of interesting. One of them's kind of based on which is contractions. They announced Vault Tech 1, which allows you to build your own vault and experiment on them. So they basically put Fallout Shelter into Fallout 4. And then they announced the final one they're going to do is Nuka World, which is basically a theme park themed on the Nuka-Cola drink.
It's called Lawbreakers, and yeah, the DLC for Fallout 4, the conveyor belts and stuff, is a bit interesting.
Always having extra mechanics which might be harder for modders to do at this point, even though there are quite a few decent mods with dragging stuff like that. I think they swap out a lot more which they might not be able to do by themselves. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months of Fallout 4. Skyrim remaster with mod support on consoles.
Dead Rising 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot the
It looks like you get a power suit combined with sort of Isaac Clarke's from Dead Space and the power suit from Fallout 4. It's kind of combined.
So we decided to go from what Dead Space originally was to a real gritty shooter.
Well, no, you can use this power suit to literally like rip zombies in half with your bare hand.
So it went from fuck, I can't speak. It went from like a scary horror thriller in space to I am a man with a power suit now.
You said Dead Rising, not Dead Space.
I'm saying the power suit in you get like a suit in Dead Rising, and it looks like a combination of Fallout 4 and Dead Rising.
Well, from what I saw of the one before this one, Dead Rising 3, looked like they just turned it into some gritty shooter, rather than what I remember it looking like, which was like a kind of like funny, almost horror show type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
I never been I had Dead Rising 2, but
haven't
like
played them, but the first couple looked kind of funny, and the new one.
No, I don't really
to go out there. So
I found the combat just kind of unsatisfying.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was alright. It was a bit of fun with friends, but I only put like maybe 2 hours into it. I guess that's my problem. I didn't put much into it, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Dead Rising franchise. Nor the Dead Space franchise now. I mean,
Yeah.
I played Dead
I like the
Space 1
first
on
game.
PS3, and that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was pretty much the Bethesda conference beforehand. Then, which I think, what was after that? Was Ubisoft after
Yeah,
the first
Ubisoft
one?
making all sorts
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, there's Ubisoft conference was stupid. They
They
literally
had
started it out
clowns
with
and
a
a circus of
live dance.
literal freaks.
Yeah, they literally started out with a live dance to promote the new Just Dance game.
And then they went into the shooting. Like they had
decided
all
to
of them
make
on stage in all their ridiculous costumes, and then they went straight into sorry
a
about the
memorial.
shooting.
Yeah, but the thing is, they went from dancing to memorial for the Orlando shooting into Ghost Recon footage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you kind of think messed up your timing there. It's like, maybe you could get away with doing it just after that live dancing thing. But
Yeah. Like do the
literally
memorial.
Ghost Recon right afterwards. Was
You'd seem
game.
really
Yeah.
classy if you came out and said, "Hey, we're sorry about the Orlando shootings. That's terrible," and then did a big weird thing, and then went into shooting.
Yeah, it's like kind of weird, but their entire thing was kind of all over the place, especially with Aisha Tyler as their host for it. It's like, really, like she's all right, but seriously, just get
At
someone else
least
to
she
do
didn't
that.
bring up memes like last year.
No, she just said a bunch of other stupid stuff. So I didn't watch the Ubisoft one last year, so I think I only saw clips of it, so I'm not really sure what happened.
She should get fired. I'm sorry, she should be fired.
Yeah.
And, you know, women in all this stuff, yeah, but that's not a human being. That's not. She's not male or female. She's some kind of. She is a lizard people.
No, she's Lana from Art. That's it. Just that's
she
all I got.
does not understand.
Total Biscuit's live stream is doing Stark, I think, and I thought, yeah, it's just Lana. But Ghost Recon, it looked alright, but as someone pointed out, it just looked like a co-op just cause with no tactical espionage shooting at all. It's just 4 guys going up and shooting up a country.
Well, as opposed to the other game where they're literally just on a mountain with skis, a snowboard, and a parachute, by the looks of it.
But you get to smash into the mountain really fast.
You brain yourself on rocks over and over and over again, like Tomb Raider.
Plus also, the storyline for the new Ghost Recon is Mexican drug dealers took over Bolivia.
Well, I think we've used Iraq too much now, so they've got to use something else.
Yeah, but no, there's the thing. How does a drug cartel from Mexico take over an entire country?
Especially like one that's, you know, just has more guns, just has more gangs
and
and.
Have that much, really, apart from the entire country is full of, well, coca leaves.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, just why?
One of the good things that did come out of the Ubisoft conference was the trailer for the new South Park game.
Yeah.
So that was quite good, especially because of the way they did the trailer. They did basically a parody of for their own trailer. They did a parody of a gritty first-person shooter kind of thing, and then cut it into a bit of South Park footage, and it was kind of cool. So then they had is it Matt Ward and Troy Parker come on the stage?
Matt Stone and Troy Parker.
Oh, they took the piss out of the host. Like one of the hosts. That was great.
But that's what you get. You get guys who make South Park. You expect them to do stuff like that.
You know what my favorite part of E3 was watching Snoop Dogg be kind of in the background, and then all of the celebrities come out and be really fucking stoned.
Well, of course, you got Snoop Dogg at E3.
And then they just all played Battlefield 1.
Yeah, because I saw a bit of that because I was watching the playback for the Rooster Teeth podcast, because Gavin was, and he was on about that Bernie was in the literal middle of Snoop Dogg, Wes, what's his name, and another guy. They were literally just passing a split between them, and it's like, yeah, they were just stoned. Like, for the pure fact, well, it was legal where they were, so they could get away with it. But
yeah, as well as like when they're gaming and they show Snoop Dogg is like really concentrate. He's just got a joint hanging out of his mouth.
But you could ask him. It's like, oh, what's your secret technique? Oh, you'll see. Next photos of him with a spliff in his mouth. It's like, yeah, it's. So yeah, that's basically the amount of celebrities they had turn up for E3 though, because they're like, yeah, we're just gonna pay them money. We're just throwing money at these people. we need more coverage to get some
They must have
celebrities.
like half of these games have like maybe a quarter of the budget of the celebrities they brought on.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Like Ubisoft really didn't have much. Basically, all of the games they had basically were all open world. Like, oh, open world this, open world that. And they were just trying to like the Division at this point. They're trying to keep alive. They are literally just taking a defibrillator to this dead game and trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, it's got like less players than something like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Yeah.
At this point.
Since it's come out, they've lost 93% of their player base who bought the game. And currently, the average players on Steam records is anywhere between 6,000 and 8,000 people.
So they went from like 100,000 people to 7,000 people.
Yeah, that's all they get now. It's like, yeah, the game's dead. Move on. Just leave it.
Well, I saw some gameplay of a guy who was stuck in a table and he couldn't kill himself.
Oh, that sounds inconvenient.
Well, I still think the funniest thing is the game's so riddled with hackers that the guarantee is if you watch them live stream the game, you'll guarantee that person will run into someone that's hacking the game. So it's like, yeah, the fact that you have a chance when you play the game of almost 100% to run into someone who's hacking is like, yeah, what's the point of playing?
Yeah, that's why I don't play CS:GO anymore.
CS:GO's not that bad though. CS:GO's only like
you get at
70%.
least one a week. Yeah, you get at least one a week.
It's a lot less, but with Division, it's like you're guaranteed to meet one in like every hour of gameplay.
It's not playing GTA 5.
Yeah. With GTA 5, just people trying to screw you over.
I know. So bad.
Constantly.
Oh, but yeah. So Ubisoft conference was kind of meh. Had a couple of interesting things, like the bit on the Star Trek VR game because they had LeVar Burton and
he was very excited.
Jerry Ryan, who plays.
I'm pretty sure they gave him some ecstasy because he was like, he was very excited.
No, that's just LeVar Burton. That's just him.
But he was very excited.
Yeah. Yes, that looked kind of interesting,
but again, the reason I haven't watched the whole E3 is because, well, it's less this year. I've noticed that, and that's a good thing. But especially like last year before that, and stuff. It's just if it's CGI, then there's no no hype for me. Like if it's CGI, no hype.
That's why I think they're starting to learn because after stuff like when they first showed Watch Dogs. The shit they got for that when it came out. The Witcher 3 had to a lesser extent because it was slightly downgraded visual-wise, but a lot of that I think you could turn back on or it's added later. But there's been a lot of games like that, and I think the game's point where they have to show real gameplay footage and less like deliberately set up stuff, because if they do, people are going to call them out on it when the game comes out.
Especially if it's in the game, like Watch Dogs.
Yeah. Or better yet, if it's, say, Aliens Colonial Marines and the bit they showed off at E3 isn't even in the game.
Yeah, it's getting better, guys. It's getting better. I mean, we've had a very good year for video games already. So that's just so much better than, last couple years, really. Especially 2014.
We've already talked about Microsoft a bit, so we can skip them. Sony's ones was quite good. I didn't have a look at a lot of Sony stuff, I only caught bits of it. They did show some good games, but I still think one of the funniest ones was the bits they had for Kojima, because they actually gave him his own entrance. I did look at that, and it was kind of cool. They literally gave him a full, his own entrance. Wow. But, and him showing off, I'd say trailer, but it's not really a trailer, it's more of a kind of little sequence thing for his new game, Death Stranding, which basically is a naked Norman Reedus on a beach looking out the ocean with dead fish.
Handcuffed to a fetus baby.
Yeah, with C-section scars and stuff.
But the baby was already dead or turned to oil or something. And
yeah, so basically what I got from that trailer was naked man, baby that disappears, beach.
Dead fish. Don't get dead fish.
Yeah.
Oh, and floating people that turned into the name of the game.
So they gave Kojima all of the money in the world to make what he wanted, and he made a naked man on a beach
Yep.
with a dead baby.
And they're like, we're happy. He can make whatever the fuck he wants, because at the end of it, it will roll them in money. They will roll in money by the end of it, and that's what they get. I still think, as I put it to you guys earlier, before we started, was the fact that there was a picture on his Instagram of Kojima drinking out of a cup, which has Konami's tears written on the side of it.
Did we get any Sham News 3? Did we get any Shenmue 3
There
news?
was anything with Shenmue 3. I
Yeah,
haven't seen anything on
so
it.
people gave him money, then Sony gave him money, and we got nothing so far.
No, Kojima's not Shenmue 3.
No, I know, but I just mean the guy who made Shenmue.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think, because I don't think his developments, I thought that, because that came out afterwards, that he was actually already being paid money, but the Kickstarter was to get the money to prove that people liked the game, so they'd give him the money.
Yeah.
So...
But, like, they could have at least given us some CGI, you know?
Yeah. Cool. So, lots of things this year at least, and some upcoming things. Surprisingly, a lot of people pointed out the fact that Sony didn't mention anything about the PS4 Neo. There's nothing on that on E3. Which people are surprised because of Xbox thing on the new Xbox.
Yeah, well, they're still probably trying, like, to get the price down, maybe, or... Because there was a lot of Project Morpheus stuff.
Well,
of,
the new PlayStation will be priced at what roughly the PlayStation 4 was when it came out, which was still cheaper than the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So, it's like, if they can do that again, people will probably buy it. And I don't think they overly have to worry, but I think a lot of it might have been they were waiting to see what Microsoft with the Xbox would do.
See, Project Morpheus and PSVR and stuff doesn't actually look that bad. Like, specs-wise, it's getting there.
It looks alright. It's not going to be, as people point out, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as good as Oculus or the Vive. But price-wise, will be more affordable.
Yeah, it'd be about as much as a PS4.
Yeah. So, but then you still, that means you're dropping like 800 quid on a console and VR. So.
Yeah, but that's still 800 quid on a console and VR instead of 800 quid on VR.
VR, yeah.
Yeah.
And then not have anything to run it, so.
Yeah, it's a decent deal. I mean that's it's nice to look towards that kind of way of thing. And I was thinking with Nintendo, I think like their new Super Console, like because the NX isn't a replacement for the Wii U, it's like a weird thing. So
yeah, they haven't even announced what the NX is going to be. They said, well, it's not going to be like the Wii U. It's going to be something new. So it's like, is it going to be an actual console? Are you doing an actual proper console? Like, you're not doing some weird motion control shit or anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. See, what I thought years ago could save the Wii U was just make the DS compatible with it, because you've got the stupid touchscreen control thing. So you've got kind of one of those in your hand with a DS. So just make them
that would
compatible.
Be nice. I still think the best thing Nintendo could do at this point is just bring their games to PC.
So
do it.
Something along that line with like an NX, maybe the new like sort of console, but also handheld proper hybrid thing.
Or possibly like a DS sort of game slot in the actual console itself, so you could play those games on the actual console itself.
Well, there are rumours that they're thinking of going back to cartridges for the games.
No, that's not going to happen. That's so expensive.
Really? Well,
yeah.
If you think about, at this point, that most of the games for the Wii actually still come on discs compared to both other consoles. both the PS4 and Xbox One will require you, when you install a game, to download probably half of it.
Yeah, but you've always had like a premium to pay with Nintendo, no matter what you do, whether it be on disc or not. And I guess that's because you have to download and updates and whatever, and you get what is essentially a polished game, hopefully, unless it's Star Fox Zero. And so I don't know, with cartridges, maybe with because if you make a proprietary SSD or something like that, or like an SD card, the Vita did that a couple years back, didn't work out. It was a couple years back though, so yeah, I'll give them a benefit of that. But it's still going to be really fucking expensive.
Have the proprietary cartridges.
Yeah,
they
they're
technically already
super.
make it work.
They're about as expensive as a AAA game for a fucking handheld, though.
Yes, and how many of those cartridge games give you more gameplay than most AAA games? Most
True,
of
and
them.
how many of those actually sell? Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess. But still, those are very, very small games on very, very expensive cartridges. So
not really, because they focus on what's important. First, the gameplay, then make it look pretty afterwards. They have taken to heart what a lot of people have found out, that gamers care more about the game playing well and graphics second. Graphics are all nice, but the gameplay is like shit, and the story's crap, or the characters you play are crap. No one wants the game anymore.
But I doubt it will sell if it looks like a 3DS on a big screen. You know.
Yeah, I think they have said it's going to be something different. It's not going to be anything like the Wii U. It's not. I don't think it's going to be handheld in any form. I don't think.
I mean, those controller leaks and stuff were
anything.
like the patterns and stuff. So I don't know.
People with some very elaborate jokes.
Yeah,
they were quite good actually. Like the guy who 3D printed a fake Nintendo NX controller.
Oh yeah, but that was exactly to the pattern, which was also confirmed like not fully real. So yeah, that was kind of dumb. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Fucking hell, how many times have I said that?
A lot.
Yeah. I have no idea. I don't know. But it will be interesting to see. Do actually go with Nvidia like rumored. Especially with Polaris and the specs and stuff of that in the low end with kind of graphics and stuff. So I don't know. I think the NX will probably be AMD again because they've been working on it for so long. But the next super whatever, if it is next super whatever, will maybe Nvidia. Who knows?
The next year should be interesting for all things considered. And maybe we'll never see an Xbox again in a couple of years.
That'll be something.
Hopefully that'll be gone.
Oh yeah.
We can always dream.
Yeah.
At least they made the new Xbox S actually PS4 sized.
Oh yeah. I thought it was interesting. I thought, just like, if they've made it PS4 sized but crammed more into it, why couldn't they make the original Xbox small? And I still don't get is how can they not put the transformer for the power supply inside the console like
No, they have done. They have done with the new
one. Have done. Which once again is why was the Xbox One store so big?
Yeah.
That they crammed far more into it.
And well, no, the main reason it was so big is because of the Xbox 360 Slim and it being on fire half the time.
Well, yeah, but you had that with like the PS2 Slim. PS3 Slim wasn't like that. It's like, why is Xbox is the only one that doesn't seem to be able to make a small console properly?
Because they were scared shitless of
the. And I'm guessing you still can't stand this piece of crap on its side still.
Oh, probably not.
Well, going by the way it's designed, it's got no way to stand it up on its side. So apparently they can't make a CD drive that works sideways again.
Anyway, should we wrap this clusterfuck up?
Yep.
I think we should.
It's got an hour and 50 minutes more now. We've already passed the cuckoo clock alarm.
Yeah, we have, definitely. Did he pick it up? Did you hear it, Luke?
What was that?
The cuckoo clock.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
Oh.
It might have got picked up on the audio, but Luke might not have heard it because we were talking at the time.
Yeah.
What's that?
When I get around to doing the timestamps, I'm going to add it in.
Yeah.
Just add cuckoo clock alarm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Lucas?
Yeah, are we doing the outro bit thing?
Yeah, let's do the outro bit thing.
Right. Well, you can find me in the usual places, so at Kinski91 on Twitter and twitch.tv/Usura91 on Twitch. Myriad of other places, just put the name to Google somewhere.
Yeah, I'm out.
You'll find me.
Make sure to have save search on.
That's probably a good option there.
Yeah. I'm Alcarius Endgame. You can find me on Twitter. I'm pretty much nowhere else.
Oh, no, that's a lie. You can find me in your local zoo in the penguin enclosure.
Gonna keep peddling that one, aren't
Yep, I'm gonna keep that joke going until the end of time.
Apparently so.
Until Luke finds some way to kill me, it's gonna keep going.
Well, I don't do anything, so.
You can always find Jamie here.
Yeah. So how are we going to end this week?
We had a guest, didn't we? We didn't even introduce him.
guest stars. We didn't even
Just
introduce
been
the guest
more than one
stars.
No.
One of them didn't get taught much because Luke kept interrupting him.